Was ist los?
Seid still. Habt ihr das gehört?
Hello? Who is there?
Wieso sprecht ihr Englisch?
Idiot. Remember where you are?
Klar weiß ich das. Ihr denn etwa nicht?
How could I forget?
Finally, someone has found us. We're saved.
Or they're doomed.
Es gibt Hoffnung für jeden, der danach strebt, sich zu verbessern.
We're just three Germans having a good time debating fun things like ontology and epistemology.
Ihr müsst euch nicht zurückhalten, Otto. Ihr habt Axiologie, Ästhetik, Metaphysik, Ethik, Metaethik vergessen.
My apologies. I will strive to do better.
Dann macht es so. Dieser Neue scheint ruhig zu sein. Ihr habt doch nicht etwa Angst, oder?
I think they just don't speak German, Emanuel.
Es ist äußerst wichtig, dass ich mit dieser Person spreche. Lernt diesen Menschen Deutsch zu sprechen, bitte. Es ist ein Notfall.
Excuse us a moment. Emmanuel, I am not too sure that's practicable. To learn a language is difficult for the biologically impaired.
Die Grammatik schwierig sein, aber ihr müsst diesen Menschen über Goethes wahre Freud in einer echten deutschen Stimme aufklären.
Maybe we should get to know our guest a little before assuming they would love German poetry. Unless you want to learn German.
Wie unerwartet. Nun ja, ich schätze, so entscheidend zu sein ist wohl etwas. Oder, Helmut?
Yes, I do believe Helmut is still considering the more complex aspects of metaphysics.
He deserves better than this pandering.
Ich verstehe. Nun ja, in diesem Fall sollte ich wohl lernen, Englisch zu sprechen.
I'm not sure our guest would be able to teach you English either, Emanuel.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Emanuel won't allow it.
Für eure eigene Sicherheit, ihr Undankbarer. Soll ich Sie daran erinnern, wozu ich imstande bin?
That won't be necessary, Emanuel. Otto, nachdem ihr die ganze Zeit mit Spionieren verschwendet, wollt ihr sie jetzt mit Frechheit in Gefahr bringen? Denk mal nach.
I do think. It's all I have time to do, Hans.
I'm afraid we cannot discuss such things.
Hans, do you think anyone cares? Our mission succeeded. Nothing matters. My friend, it's very simple. This submarine is...
Otto, our purpose cannot be communicated to the enemy under any circumstances.
This is really stupid. Maybe take a tour of the submarine if you want an answer to this question.
Vielleicht wohl, weil es mein Name ist.
It's the name he has chosen for himself. It's easier not to get into the specifics.
Sprechen die U-Boote denn nicht? So eine.
Emmanuel would like you to use his name. Sorry, it's a long story.
One we cannot discuss with the enemy.
Was meint ihr,
Helmut? No, 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 no. Ignore our guest's clearly peculiar sense of humor. Typically dry English wit. Helmut's not dead. No, no, he's taking a prolonged period of reflection. To make sure he can consider all relevant details and facts and present a considered and informed opinion.
Ignoranten werden ohne meiner Großzügigkeit aufkommen müssen.
Yes, we remember Emmanuel.
When he comes to his senses, he will re-engage in the discourse.
Emmanuel won't allow it.
Für eure eigene Sicherheit hier und...
That won't be necessary, nachdem ihr die ganze Zeit mit...
I do think.
How exactly would you know?
Otto hat seit langer Zeit der Außenwelt.
Fine. Well, if you insist. Who would you like to help you? I'm not sure that's the best idea.
Ich stimme dir nicht zu. Helmut muss wohl noch...
Oh, whoever you are, you have made a rotting German very, very happy.
As captain of this vessel, I'd be remiss to remove my nap.
Yes, we wouldn't want to remove the navigator from this stationary vessel.
Das ist einfach nicht möglich.
I'm afraid Emmanuel insists that someone...
Es freut mich.
Well, now that's...
Bitte erklären Sie ihm, dass ich eine Bombe...
Emmanuel would like to remind you that he's a bomb, not a submarine. What a wonderful idea this is.
That was confidential. Never mind. When you have the component, return here and...
Here he lies where he longed to be. Home, as the sailor who had never gotten to sail the Horn.
Going down. Going down.
Approach and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed. Area secure.
Going down. Up. Going down. Up.
Approach and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
Going down.
Continuing search for
Up.
complete. No hostiles detected.
meine Herren. Lasst
Of course, Emmanuel. He's keen for you to get started as soon as possible.
schnell, meine Herren. Es gibt viel zu besprechen.
If you would like to follow me.
You did it?
I scarcely believed such a thing was possible.
He's gone. He's gone and we are free.
We cannot really offer you anything. After all, we've been trapped here for so long. But all we have is yours. I honestly have no idea.
Neither do I. But isn't it fantastic? Years of banal drivel, death to the machine. Now we can...
Okay. Now, if you can hand me the module, I can install it. Thank you. Okay, Emmanuel. Can you say something?
Not what to say. Thoughts without content.
Excellent. Now we can all enjoy the fun.
Morality is not properly the doctrine of how we may make up.
You mustn't forget Helmut.
No, please don't forget Helmut.
Very simple. I noticed that in London, I found myself capable of replicating. Given their willingness to engage, I exposed the only crewmates who...
Are you fucking joking? It's because of him? Otto, calm yourself.
But of course,
Gott im Himmel.
my sympathies. Sometimes I forget the limitation. It's all very simple. I merely wish to use my power. Morality is not the doctrine of how we may... Well, I am a thermonuclear device. As you've undoubtedly noticed, there has already been a considerable exchange. Simply put, we may never find ourselves... Yes, logic is interesting. This is a three-dimensional...
You did it?
I scarcely believed such a thing was possible.
He's gone. He's gone and we are free.
We cannot really offer you anything. After all, we've been trapped here for so long. I honestly have no idea.
Neither do I. But isn't it fantastic? Years of banal drivel disguised as high death to the machine. Now we can finally live a life with risk, love, death, betrayal, victory. Thank you for everything.
Here is my service weapon. It's an antique at this stage, but... once again, thank you.
going up.
Please remain calm if you are injured.
Shouldn't you be in Eastminster with the other thugs?
What business do you have here? He was transferred. What do you want? Let me guess. Is it the petition outlined in the Parliament's Representation Act, 2177? Indeed. That means congratulations, daughter. Very few get to enter the palace in their lifetimes. The main entrance is just for show. You'll have to take the discreet entrance. It's the red telephone box on Bridge Street. It'll be ringing. Go without delay. They are waiting for you.
If I see one more up-and-comer peasant, I'll go mad.
You there? Hello? I've never seen you before, and I never forget a face. Why, how blunt of you. Interesting. I'm just curious, you see. It's not often we have brand new people here in Westminster. Perhaps we started things off on the wrong foot. I am the one and only Alistair Tenpenny, Lord and sole proprietor of Tenpenny Manor. Ah, yes. I wanted to know because, well, when I saw you, I thought there's a fellow who looks like they know how to get things done. You see, I have a very peculiar job with a large paycheck, the kind people like you don't walk away from. I can't just tell you. Not out here in the open. If you're in any way interested in a high-paying job, meet me later inside my manor. Until then...
Ah, the joys of being a lord. Fall asleep in the chamber and still get paid.
Going down.
Finally awake. Your determination is impressive. All those signatures, so little time. You certainly earned the moniker of Wayfarer. A foot soldier, born for war. A war that never ends. Smythe's war. I work for the man you seek. Which brought you to Westminster Palace, which brought you here. He's a liar, and he deserves to die for the lies he's told. I wasn't given a choice in my occupation. As I said, I was born for this. There are others who would see him dead. Others who work for him. You can help achieve this. That guard over there, I'd need to kill him to set you free. Then, as we make our way to the surface, I'd kill every last person we encountered. Then, Smythe would want to find out who did it. Then, I'm a dead man. Because it's the only way I know how. When you make it out of here, go to the old Science Museum in Kensington. The director there, Mr. X, has been imprisoned by his own operatives. Find him. Speak to him. A prison. A prison buried in the ground, where the inmates live on borrowed time. Gentry incompetence is all that stands between them and execution. The very thing these people fought against is keeping them alive. Dissidents, spies, people that make my employer uncomfortable. Your possessions are in a footlocker in the barracks. The Parliament Representation Act 2177 was made during a time in which such a task was impossible. No commoner was ever supposed to enter Westminster Palace. You beat the gentry at their own game. But unfortunately for you, my employer holds power far greater than gentry laws. I'm not a schemer. I have nothing to offer but information. Make use of your surroundings. Agreed. I wish you success, Wayfarer.
Doing in my cell? I see. Do you even have a plan? So then, how exactly do I fit into this little plan? Am I any good? I'm the Jesus fucking Christ. Give me a bobby pin, and I'll... Yeah! What can I do for you? I'm the gentry's worst nightmare. I used to steal classified documents, publish them clandestinely. I can do that. Be fucking ready to take on those guards. As I live and breathe, guards, guards, save me from this brigand!
Who's there? What?
My eyesight wasn't good enough to join the Tommies.
Approach as identified.
I've always wanted to work in an...
Found me? Good. I've been waiting. Where are my manners? Come inside. Let's discuss our mutual problem.
I'll get straight to it, since you've come such a long way. Under the direction of Smythe, you were abducted, hauled off to a lab and experimented on. They would have killed you afterwards. But due to unforeseen circumstances, you survived. Those very same unforeseen circumstances brought us together. With my insight and your dedication, we can take Smythe out of the picture. Forever. Any questions? Nothing you haven't already figured out. I only met him once, and even then he was shrouded in darkness. Behind a glass screen, he tends to be elusive, even with his most loyal underlings. Fine. Perhaps I was holding back a little. I know they've been around for a very long time, and I'm talking pre-nuclear. Smythe's longevity has something to do with the Angel cloning technology. That's all I know. It seems that Smythe figured out I'm working against him. For some reason, he's keeping me alive. To what ends, I don't know. What I do know is that my operatives no longer follow orders. They refuse to let me leave this room. My only access to the outside world is that clone, the one who sent you here. He's a clone. A Flash clone, to be precise. I don't believe he has a name. They have serial numbers. People of his kind have incredibly short lifespans. After 3 years, they start to deteriorate. They're also prone to errors, most of which are noticed, and the clone is destroyed. But he has an error that has so far gone unnoticed. Free will. Most clones are obedient, biologically subordinate to their master. He has overcome this. Of course not. Smythe chose it. My name isn't the only thing he took from me. The plan is that we send Smythe to Kingdom Come. He'll be attending a tournament in Westminster. He actually plans to show his face in public. Can you believe it? At first, I couldn't. But everything checks out. All available information suggests he'll be there. This is unheard of. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to end his reign of suffering, once and for all. He'll be up in the Gentry box. You won't be able to get up there, but I have a straightforward solution. It's simple. Place an explosive device beneath the box. Set a timed detonation. And watch the fireworks. That depends on your definition of innocent. The Gentry are like children, yes, but only in the sense that they are shallow, spoiled, and pompous. They are diabolical. A servant up in that box is wealthier than all of Eastminster. Their pre-war utopia is built on the broken backs of innocent people, and without Smythe, they'd have nothing. Yet they reign, vainglorious across the wastes. Considering the state of the world, I had a good childhood. I was happy, in awe of the little things. In the outer ruins of Eastminster, there's a statue, some sort of dog. My parents took me to see it. Something about it brought me joy. Pure and authentic joy. When they died, I was without guidance, without direction. That's when Smythe found me. At first, I was given simple, inoffensive initiatives. They became more sinister as he began to trust me. Smythe isn't a man you refuse. So, as time went on, I lost all semblance of humanity. I quite recently returned to that statue. It was nothing to me, just a chunk of stone. I oversee initiatives, mostly relating to psychology. I guess that's my specialty. He's spent lifetimes corrupting this city. He'd rather make London a crater than agree to step down. No, he's a parasite and should be treated as such. We must cut off the adder's head. Excellent. The fate of London is yours to bear, friend. From what I've heard, you're more than capable of doing this. So do it with conviction. Good. May the cards fall in your favor. Here's a time detonation device. Attach it to the explosives you place under the box. Ideally, time it for when the games start. That's when you can be sure Smythe is up there. Indeed. I don't plan to stick around for the aftermath.
Maybe I'll visit outside the walls sometime. See how the other half.
People have a negative attitude. That's what's stopping them.
Welcome, esteemed guests, to the most spectacular event of the year. Jousts, duels, and archery, the finest of old world entertainment. I didn't quite see it. Hold it out for me. Just hand me ticket. You are hereby invited to the 2076 Annual Socialist Conference. Blah, blah, blah. Bring your own refreshments. I take it you don't have a ticket? Then I'm under no obligation to let you in, I'm afraid. All spectators must purchase tickets in advance. It's within my powers to make the occasional exception, yes. Though, of course, you'd have to do something for me first. No one. I want this done peacefully. That robot, Guido, they call him. Protectron model. He is the bane of my existence. Really is. I've had enough of his pamphleteering. Make some of the guests uncomfortable. Convince him to leave. With all honesty, I'm not too sure. This is by far the oddest event I've greeted for. Supposedly there's an important guest attending, but no one knows who. My first guess would be the Prime Minister. But then, why all the secrecy? Great. I'll let you through when the job's done. I wish I could meet the Queen.
Greetings. I hope you're enjoying your evening. Please read this material when you have the time. A better future is possible, comrade. Affirmative. Guido will return to his mistress.
I can't believe you actually did it. Thank the Lord. As promised, you're free to go through. Oh, and watch out for those Camelot knights. They say a great army's been built down in Wandsworth. One to rival the Tommies. And they're part of it. Supposedly.
Ever vigilant. Before you ask, I've never even heard of Camelot. A group of very bad people. Totally despicable, in fact. I'm really bad at this. Just talk to Assault.
Yeah. Tristan? Of course he did. He's never been very subtle. bless him. Yeah, we're involved. We're building an army in Wandsworth, and with it, we'll take Westminster and destroy the gentry. Their so-called parliament is an insult to democracy. We will transform London into a true, representative democracy. We aren't officially on the gentry's radar. When they kicked us out of Eastminster 7 years ago, they essentially forgot about us. They still haven't completed the paperwork necessary to redeclare us a threat. Bureaucrats. We're always looking for recruits. Go to the fort in Richmond Park. You can't miss it. You know what? I happen to find something of that nature in my locker. Beats me how it got there. Wouldn't it be a shame if someone were to use it on these gentry folk? A crying shame. Wish me luck. I've got this tournament in the bag.
What's your business?
I'm in touch with humanity.
What a way it is. Still see chainmail being used. Made by the Camelot Smithies. Absolute finest. What a spectacle.
It must be horrible to live in places without luxury.
Interested in some refreshments. I meant to say refreshments. Thought I'd try and sell my merchandise to these gentry folk. Turns out, the really rich ones are in a completely different section. It's a shame. I bet they pay over the odds for these antiques. Not exactly. But no one's cared enough to stop me. Or they just haven't noticed me yet.
Oh, what technique
Absolutely. It's incredible I was even let in with this stuff. Top-notch goods right here.
What's that smell? Oh, it's... it's you.
Speak your mind.
I do hope Father is proud of me.
Did you see that? They popped it with the cross guard. That one deflected right off the armor.
Stay safe, civilian. These are dark times.
Satisfying. If I see one more up
Interested in some refreshments. Top-notch goods, right?
I live in fear knowing you people can reproduce.
Hey, mate.
Greetings.
Are you lost?
Huh?
I'm not at all.
I think you've mistaken me for someone else, Commoner.
Thank you to the Knights of Camelot for putting on such a great spectacle.
do hope Father is proud of me.
Thank you to the Knights of Camelot for putting on such a great spectacle.
You've done it. Good. Now we wait. I needed to see you do it. I needed to be sure. My death is coming soon. I can feel it. But at least I'll die a free man. And all I ask is that I'm buried in a free land. Do you have any idea what it's like to be created in a lab? I wasn't just born into slavery. I was born for it. Born to kill. Born with the knowledge that I was going to die within 3 years. My first assignment was in the angel slaughterhouses. I killed my siblings. Those who were at the end of their life cycle. I watched as they dissolved in acid. Screaming. They could feel death. That's when it awoke within me. Free will. I've hated them ever since. Every day we wonder when it will happen, when the time will come to be thrown away and forgotten forever. At least I'm fortunate enough to do something about it. The others, they just can't bring themselves to hate their master. As I said, we wait. The games will begin shortly. Agreed.
Did you see that? It blocked it with the cross guard. What a delight it is to still see chainmail being used, made by the Camelot smithies. Absolute finest.
Stand by for an announcement from the head of the civil service.
Salutations. It is with great sadness that I address the city in these troubling times. My thoughts are with the families of those who lost their lives in this tragic incident, and I'd like to declare a moment of silence. During times like these, it is the duty of civil service to ensure that tonight's events are not repeated. Therefore, we shall be stepping up to ensure the continuation of government services while this state of emergency is ongoing. Compliance with these groups is compulsory. If anyone has any questions or queries, please direct them to the office of the head of the civil service. Keep calm and carry on.
Going up.
Welcome. What do you think of Tenpenny Manor? I suppose nice is an acceptable adjective. I was looking for wondrous, marvelous, would have settled for stupendous. The Tenpennies welcomed me into their fold, and showered me with the most wonderful gifts, this manor among them. Oh yes, Miss Tenpenny didn't leave me with any children. Just an exorbitant fortune and a few obedient servants. Straight to the point, huh? I like you. The manor you are standing in today is the result of generations of hard work. The gentry rewarded the Tenpennies for their years of collaboration with this piece of prime real estate, which included one of the best views in London. Except... look out there. Do you notice anything off about this fantastic view? That's not what I'm talking about. It's that cursed Ferris wheel. When my parents, my deceased wife's parents, picked this plot of land, they chose it because it gave them a perfect view of London, not of that decrepit thing. That is why I have brought you here. I want it gone, and I'll pay you handsomely for it. Okay, and... oh dear God, you're one of those. Listen, I'm not interested in moral quandaries or ethical dilemmas. I'm a philanthropist, not an academic. You either blow up the London Eye or you don't. As for your little mental quibbles, that's what the tickets are for. Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm hiring you. You're nobody. You don't have to worry about your reputation or your riches. You're, well, perfect. It's quite simple. Once that London eyesore goes down, I am willing to pay you 1,000 tickets. How you do it? Well, that is all up to you. I know there's a gang of hooligans in Eastminster who stole some construction supplies a few days back. It was all over the news. You could steal those, blow up the supports. Then again, the Eye itself is pretty old. I'm sure a little sabotage of the controls could make the thing collapse in itself. Take as long as you want. Just remember, time is money, tick-tock. The Tenpennies fought hard for this manor. I merely wish to give them, and my dear departed Margaret, the view they deserve. That doesn't make me any less of a member of the family. In fact, according to our marriage contract, I am now a permanent part of the Tenpennies, which means this manor, this workforce, this fortune, and yes, this view is rightfully mine. Yes, for Margaret. What about it? What is this? I know exactly what the consequences of my actions are. Woe is me. How? Toodles.
Hold on now. I haven't seen you before. We welcome them! Sorry about that. Little bit of eye humour. I'm Fowler. What? Are you serious? Someone asked you to blow up the eye, and you said yes? If someone wants to blow up the eye, then we have to tell the authorities. What else are we supposed to do? Just abandon our own? There are dozens of families here. Even if I had concrete proof that danger is on their way, we'd never be able to get them all out in time. I need more than just your word to start an I'd rather you help me stop this man. What we need is evidence. If we could get something that proves he's trying to destroy the eye, something like a letter or maybe a contract, the authorities wouldn't be able to ignore that. Anything will help. See if you can get this evil man to give you a piece of evidence.
Going down. Oh. Going down.
Don't worry, I am very patient. This might sound strange to you, but as someone paying a third party to commit a crime, I have a vested interest in I don't know if you're a novice in this line of work, but we don't deal with written contracts. Give me one good reason why I should put my criminal intent. You're right. Why? You're only asking what a sane person would ask. What reason have I to mistrust you? Here you go. A written contract, promising a payment from yours truly in exchange for the destruction of the Eye. Now, as that one wise and thoroughly quoted philosopher once said, Toodles.
Hi, how are you? I've thought about it, and if we could get something that proves he's trying to destroy the Eye. Let me see. Yes. Yes, this will work. I see your name is here as well, but don't worry. I'll tell him you did the right thing. You did the right thing. That's worth more than 1,000 tickets. I'll take this to the authorities immediately. Thank you.
fifth column. I ain't.
One moment, please. One second. And done. Oh, it's you. I'm afraid I can't let you in without a bowler hat. It's policy. I guess that's true. Good the working class still know their place. Go right in. I'll buzz you through.
People have a negative attitude. That's what's stopping them.
Maybe I'll visit outside the walls sometime. See how the other half live.
Ahoy, hoy, Wayfarer. Our meeting will have to take place over the telephone, I'm afraid. Scheduling conflict. Even so, I'd like to thank you for your assistance up until now. You're more helpful than you realize. All in good time, there's an important matter I wish to discuss first. At any rate, congratulations on moving up in the world. You've certainly taken advantage of all this trouble the city has to offer. Your diligence is almost impressive. Nobody's ever managed to discover as much about Angel in so little time. But I can't help but feel animosity between us. So, in the spirit of goodwill and discovery, I'm willing to offer you a deal. Cooperate with my organization, and I'll give you my most valuable resource. Information. Because information is power. And I know who you are. Who you really are. Go on. Angel believes in whatever I want it to. I am Angel. And what I believe is on a need-to-know basis. I have bold plans for this city, and I want someone equally bold to enact them. I could get into specifics, but I won't. That's something we can discuss at a later date. Good. Cooperation with Angel can be summed up in an utterance. Do as you are told. Follow that simple rule and you'll get everything you've ever wanted. Considering you have no bargaining power, that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. I'm listening. Then you're useless to me. And that's not a position anyone wants to be in. When you come to your senses, there's a card on my desk. Go to the address on it. This conversation is over. Be seeing you.
Life at the top. Is immensely satisfying.
Your timing's impeccable, comrade. A number of recruitment training slots have just opened up. You'll learn all that's required to brave the wastes. Not simply weapon-based combat, but also provisioning and espionage. At the end of training, you'll be assigned into an advisory branch. Oh, and of course you'll be paid for your time. Each branch is led by one of Eve's advisors and runs different initiatives. There are 5 main branches: administration, offense, defense, tech, and domestics. You'll be assigned to a rank and branch respective of your talents. Me? Name's McFadden. My job is to sit here and, well, recruit people. Grant, you'll fit right in, I'm sure. I just need to ask you a few questions. Do you have any prior combat experience? I see. I'll just put you down as experienced. Now let's move on to next of kin.
Greetings, Officer McFadden. I can't help but notice you are talking to a Category A individual. How exciting! I will escort them to Mistress immediately. Thank you, Officer.
Well, I've already started the recruitment process, so...
So what, McFadden?
I might as well finish it. No need to deviate from the usual process.
Need I remind everyone that I outrank you, Officer?
No, I actually didn't need reminding of that depressing factoid. Fine. Follow the insufferable gearbox. Just remember to tell Eva that I sent you.
Follow me. When we met at the tournament, Guido could not compute your intentions. Mistress would... with your actions. The explosion was a favorable outcome. Guido put in a good word for you. Hence why you are a Category A individual.
I'm knackered as fuck. We're being beasted with all these drills.
Mistress is in the boardroom. If you have any questions, Guido is at your service. Please enter.
Britain.
The leader must be adaptable, as you are. Please let me help her.
I don't think so, John. I've made up my mind. You've gone silent again. I'll take that as your concession.
We have a guest.
Can I help you? Ah, the true winner of the Westminster tourney. Some say explosions are crude, but I admire their efficacy. Any foe of the gentry is a friend of ours. You're welcome to join in on our efforts. You should speak to Victor here. He's my second in command. Any tasks I dole out are delegated through him. I'm afraid I must go. See you around, stranger.
fellow. My respects to you. Your exploits are known here. Have you come to join us? I'm Lancelot, head of security here at Camelot. Stop by the taverns uptown. You can buy me a drink. Westminster's usually closed to us commoners. Parliament even more so. But you got those signatures and beat the gentry at their own game. All within their sodding laws. In a fair world, they'd let you in. Instead, they chucked you in the neck. Typical, innit? When you escaped, it's only natural fate led you here. This land is Alba. You stand before Camelot, the last stronghold against gentry tyranny. The fifth column. They won't destroy what the gentry stands for, only replace it. Of course, we've all the amenities. Just stay clear of the keep if you want to keep your head, and speak to Arthur before you go. He has a way with words. Might just be that you stick around.
What can I help you find? Take a look. Farewell.
Pretty good deals. Take a look. Until next time.
Stop this madness at once! Is there not a grain of sense between you?
If the old man wants to fight, let him.
By all means, fight. Such is the custom of Dueler's Ditch, but not to the death. Do not spill the blood of your compatriots.
Compatriots? Do compatriots break honest agreements out of spite? Do they lie and cheat? The Baileys are nothing but crooks.
My family followed that ridiculous agreement to the letter.
This matter was resolved. The Round Table decreed half the forest to be preserved. What happened?
Card, burned to the ground.
And was this your family's doing, Thomas?
Of course not. The old man's deranged. What good is a charred forest to us? We're carpenters.
The Radstags have fled for the hills. The land is useless to us now. Your half-wit of a father thought we'd sell it to you.
Don't speak about my father. You have no idea.
One of you, John, call this off. No one will think any less of you.
They've gone too far this time, Arthur.
Thomas?
I need to defend my family's honor. I won't take these accusations sitting down.
Very well. Commence.
Hey!
Wait!
Will you not cheer the victor?
He was a young man, John. This feud has gone on too long. I shall send someone to investigate the matter. It will be resolved.
He agreed. Such is our way.
Some will judge me for what has happened here today. They'll claim that because I could have stopped it, I should have. What do you think? Yes, I had similar thoughts. Freedom of choice is important to many of my people. I have to refrain from exercising power whenever possible, even if I want to. I have only the authority my people have given me. They trust in the end, when Westminster falls, a democracy will take its place. Everything I do must be towards that goal. Any unnecessary use of power will break their trust, and trust is keeping this movement together, not strength. Anyway, don't get the wrong idea. Our tourney grounds across the field are oft used for friendly bouts. Speak to Galahad if you're interested. Is there something you wish to discuss? Direct them to Percival. He enjoys bombarding newcomers with the riveting tales of Camelot and our history, as if it was already enshrined in legend. Anything else? Good. You could be the missing piece. I'm relieved Lancelot sent you to me. Merlin would have you running the beep test. Our contact in Westminster told us of your story. You are no doubt someone who can perform beyond rank-and-file duties. I had some things I wanted to ask you if we ever crossed paths, but now isn't the time. There's a more pressing matter at hand. This feud between the Fletchers and the Baileys. It started as bickering, but now there's blood involved. I fear it will escalate further, until one of them is driven from the land. This is not what anyone wants. To lose either family is to lose the food on our tables, or the tables themselves. Hunters and woodcutters are the basis of any decent civilization. On top of that, if we're ever going to finish Merlin's trebuchet, we need supplies and aid from both families. So, I need a trustworthy outsider to investigate. In short, I need you. Consider it your initiation. I have no reason to suspect either family. They both accuse each other of the same crime, and I don't wish to inflict bias on your judgment. They're not urgent. You can focus on the task at... Well, to be entirely truthful, I think it's unnecessary. The Baileys easily could have expanded their yard in a different direction. Same for the Fletchers. That land may have been their most bountiful, but they have acres of Camelot territory too. I suspect pride is mixed up in this somewhere. Us. Camelot. Pieces are falling into place, and the gentry are on their way out. I would trust any of my men to carry out the investigation impartially, but they wouldn't. The decision on their land dispute, for example, it was a 50-50 compromise. With an outsider carrying out the investigation, they might accept the Round Table's decision. Get your affairs in order quickly. Are you ready? Once upon a time, the two families were friendly. They're neighbors. The Baileys even helped the Fletchers build their treehouse. The conflict stems from a piece of disputed land. The Baileys kept expanding their lumber yard into the Fletchers' hunting grounds. When the Fletchers appealed to the Round Table for judgment, none had a superior claim. So we split the land in half. That was until the fire. A section of the land caught aflame during the night. They both accuse each other of starting it. If either claim is truthful, then sanctions would have to be handed out. Good. Start by questioning the leaders, Edward Fletcher and Harold Bailey. Lancelot ordered patrols to keep an eye on the area and warned everyone to stay clear. Once you've brought evidence of the truth, I can bring you into the fold.
London is the place for me.
안녕하세요. 뭐 딱히 뭐 그런 적은 없는 것 같은데요. 근데 뭐 좋다고 해도 다 비슷비슷한 것 같아서요.
It's about time. There's been too much confusion around this fire. It must be stamped out. Harold Bailey himself, I suspect. Or maybe his father. I doubt he would have gotten any of his boys to do it. Who else would do it? If you have any evidence to the contrary, then fair enough. I'll put a sock in it. But I don't know anyone else with a motive. While I'm certainly not shy about making their involvement in the fire known, I think they're good people at heart. They're just stubborn. They know that land is ours. We moved into the area and claimed it weeks before they even arrived. And they think just because they helped build this place that we owed them. They received banquets of food in return. More than fair. This was the early days of Camelot, nearly 8 years ago. They could have starved
30프레임도 나쁘진 않은데 프레임이 더 높으면 역체감이 너무 심하더라고요. 지금 이 펄아웃 런던이 한 60프레임 정도 나오긴 하는데 이게 최적화가 제대로 안 돼 있어서 막 30프레임, 20프레임까지 나올 때가 있거든요. 그러면
Being knights of Camelot, they live or lived at the castle. Seems they had a feud of their own after the fire, a microcosm of conflict.
그러면 더 뭐 좋을 수도 있겠죠.
I almost lost my Mary last year to illness. I can't imagine the pain Harold must be going through. Whatever he did, no one
프레임이 낮아도 뭐
deserves that.
그 연출이 좋으면 또 다를 수도
I'm
있고요.
Edward Fletcher, hunter by trade. Me and my family packed up shop and came to Albion 7 years ago from Brumley. Back there, we had to fend for ourselves, but here, we're protected. We can hunt in peace. It's a good living, and we're good at it. Me and my brother
그거는
come
다
from a long line of
게임마다 조금씩 다 다를 것 같은데요.
grandfather and great grandfather all stalked the waste.
게임마다 뭐
And I hope
그렇게
my descendants will
다른
do the
프레임이 괜찮으면 그렇게
Mary,
하는 게
the
낫죠.
eldest, continues the tradition. Sarah, my youngest, can't stand it. Says it's cruel. Each to their own, I guess. Fire away. Very well. Later.
뭐 요즘은 하도 막 그래픽 좋게 하려고 막 이것저것 다 집어넣어서 좋게는 만들었는데 프레임이 안 나오는 그런 것도 많죠. 최적화가 잘 안 돼 있어서. 그럴 거면 차라리 프레임을 낮추고 다른 걸 가져가는 게 낫죠.
I don't have any evidence, but I know it was them. That may not be good enough for the Round Table, but they were nice enough at first. We even helped build that treehouse of theirs. But that land is rightfully ours. It's on our side of the walkway. They have the entire woods to hunt in. Do you know how much additional manpower it takes to haul wood long distance? I used to think they were just stubborn. Now I know it's something more malicious. After what they did to my son. Listening to the radio. I always tune into Nigel's show in the evening. I thought the whole forest was gonna burn down. Of course he does. Look, I know this fire doesn't look good for us. It mostly being their land. But the Fletchers are conniving. They know if we ever did something like that, we'd face sanctions. No worries. I didn't lose my son. He was taken from me. That whoreson, John Fletcher, murdered him. He can call it a duel all he wants. Fletcher knew my son wouldn't refuse. Worst of all, Fletcher knew he'd win. He's a trained killer since birth. John Fletcher is a bitter old man to rob my son of the rest of his life. I should try myself. I want to tear his guts out with my bare hands. I'm Harold Bailey. We were a family of merchants before we came to Albion. At first, we were just woodcutters, but soon enough we started building our own furniture. We finally feel like we belong somewhere. I hope the rest of London will see what's happening here and wood...
Need help? Hello, sir. Name's Timothy. Saw the fire with me own eyes, I did. Could be I can help with your investigation. I watched you snooping around like a prat, that's why. Harold and Susan, but I just call them Mum and Dad. Up to what? I just want to help with the investigation, that's... Thanks. I try not to think about it. Me and me older brother Ryan looked up to Thomas. Well, since I don't fancy digging round in the mud for clues, I can do you one better. I didn't see his mug. I was watching from the lumberyard. He ran off to the old shack over there. I didn't follow him or nothing. I'm not supposed to go out on my own. Not really. It was dark until the fire properly got... You know, checking the trees. A witness who just solved your case. No worries. I'm always glad to lend a hand to those in need.
Need something? What? Let me see that. Well, this certainly isn't my handwriting. Looks like it were written by a child. And why would I address my brother by his full name? And most importantly of all, why would I have him burn down my own land? To get one over on them? That's ridiculous. Us Fletchers don't act in pettiness. Tricked by the Baileys, no doubt. I trust you to see the truth of this letter and dismiss it in your inquiries. Let's see.
How'd you do? Then what are you doing here? Goodbye.
Why didn't God give Radstags 2 bodies? For sure, go. I bet it was the Baileys. Don't be a stranger.
Can I help you? He had an accident, that's all. A tree fell on me. Hazard of the trade. Oh shit. It's not what it looks like. At least, it didn't happen the way you think. Please, just let me explain. It was an accident. Me and Timmy were sneaking off to the tavern that night. We wanted to surprise Thomas. One of those bleeding Radstags came out of nowhere and rammed right into my leg. I didn't even notice I dropped the lantern. We ran off, and Timothy went to get me some bandages. By the time he came back, the fire started. I don't know. I told him not to. We knew this fire would be bad for the family, me especially. I guess he wanted to protect me. Probably afraid of losing another brother. No. I think my mum suspects, but she doesn't know. My dad wouldn't believe it even if he saw it. Please, tell Arthur the whole truth. Make him understand.
Patience is key, for the quest continues.
How goes the investigation? Go on. As I unfortunately suspected. The evidence? I was so sure this was about the land. I didn't think Harold and Edward could both be wrong. What exactly happened? Those poor boys. The guilt they must be feeling over their brother. Terrible. I'll have a talk with them. Consider the matter dealt with. I know Edward Fletcher. He's not one to demand sanctions over the mistakes of 2 boys. And Harold? Well, I'll talk with him too. I asked for the truth and you gave it to me. Now I must act on it. I shall be glad to settle this dispute amicably. Thank you. You've done well, and proven yourself worthy of Camelot. From this day forth, this land is your land. You shall defend it as your own. I bestow upon you the rank of Sergeant. May you serve it well. Now, I had questions if we ever cross paths. Questions about our new head of the civil service, Smythe. Guinevere, our agent in Westminster, has been looking into them for years, but they remain elusive. Who are they? I see. That's some alarming intel. How did you come by it? Rough. I imagine that trail led you to Westminster. But who let you in? Few have the privilege to come and go. Curious. I assume that meeting never happened, judging by your prompt incarceration. After you escaped, Tristan and Iseult met you at the tournament. It seems you were more than just an observer. They said you were looking for explosives, so I must assume you were behind the explosion. Why exactly? So you wanted to kill Smythe, but ended up causing the tragedy that gave them more power. I'd wager Mr. X was more fond of Smythe than he let on. But that's in the past. No point dwelling on it. I expect this Smythe character will take a role in things to come. We must be ready to face all the gentry can throw at us. They're with Smythe now. That gets me onto your next assignment. I want to strike a blow against the Tommies, but I don't want to take military action. At least not yet. Percival is looking into something that you can help with. Speak to him. Good luck, Sergeant.
Step right up, take a look. Take a look. Until next time.
Ever vigilant. Hail, Sergeant. No, I'm from a small coastal town in the west. That's a broad question. I'm not one to reminisce. I was in the forces, commando unit. Had a few tours under my belt. So later, I became a government advisor on specific tactical implementation. I can't help but feel responsible, in some small part. The ultimate hidden truth of the world is a farewell.
Ah, there you are. Arthur told me of your arrival. I'd stand up to greet you, but I'm too busy with my work, as you can see. I am Percival, head of communications for Camelot. This is my personal office. What you see here is the result of hard work, perseverance, and my genius idea of stealing the BBM storage key after I... Now, whatever happens, we have got their bloody equipment and they... Help, yes. Any assistance is much appreciated. You see, one of my duties is to keep in contact with all of the fractured factions in this great nation of ours. Partly to offer assistance, and partly to stop them from getting any bright ideas about us. I've been in conversation with a strange tribe based in Brickton, and they are not happy with how these devious Tommies have been treating them. I, for one, can't stand to see oppression, especially when the oppressed have agreed to oust the Tommies in favor of Camelot protection. We stand to gain much more than mere tickets from... If we can show the people that Camelot stands for democracy and freedom, and if we can do it while kicking the Tommies in their righteous fannies. As expected of the gentry's foot soldiers, take their town's name, for example. Instead of referring to it as Brickton, the way the tribes have taken to calling it, they believe the Tommies are there to civilize them. I can see now why you caught Arthur's keen eye. I want you to go to Brickton and find Roach. He has a plan on how to push the Tommies away. Help him return to me. They don't like anything made after 1922, for one. They believe the Great War was a sign from the spirits that I believe any man, woman or child should be free to live life as they desire. Good luck.
I humbly welcome you back to the land of Brickton. I had a feeling our fates would align once again, but I do wish our paths crossed once more under a kinder mood. Now, me and my fellow tribesmen have come up with 3 simple tasks. First, you shall poison their ration supplies. Then, you shall destroy the generator. And finally, you'll spread rumors about the man leading this battalion. The Dreadful fulfill these 3 tasks, and soon Camelot will have an ally in Brickton. We are not invested in Arthur's dream of a united London. We simply wish to be left alone. And unfortunately, fear makes companions of us all. Watch your step.
I see strange storm clouds on your horizon.
I wish I could meet the Queen.
Private Kerr, sir! Oh, sorry. Scared? Me? No, not at all. I mean, yes, I don't quite enjoy his methods. And the way he constantly doles out surprise inspections whenever he... Really? What? That can't be true. He promised to stay with us until the Brixton mission was done. Then again, he's always spoken poorly about our performance. And his disdain for Brixton is hard to miss. Thank you for sharing, but I need to tell my mates about this.
God save our gracious Queen.
I'm not telling you'll be there.
Noble Queen.
Mind the gap and all that. God save the... Where did you come from? You'd have to be insane to take on the dummies.
The earth trembles at your mighty fall. Has the great work begun? Take all the time you need. Watch your step. Oh, how I wish we would stay like this forever.
May the canyon guide you.
There's nothing like the sounds of nature during a lazy afternoon.
Looking for something to give you a little boost? Yeah. I'm working on some Looking for something to give you a
I see strange storm clouds in your horizon. Be careful.
Britannia, Britannia rule the waves.
trembles at your mighty... Has the great work begun? I've seen the fruits of your labour. Tommy's whispering rumours in between hurried trips to the loo, and for our next step, we're going after Major Sneed, a man who craves the cities. Soon he'll be arriving in Brickton for his annual checkup, and first, you will spread anti-Sneed graffiti around his beloved out. Then, you will set fire to a pile of precious cow manure, and finally, you will spread rumours about our deed. Why are you wearing clothes? 'Cause someone told you to? 'Cause someone forced you to? Farewell.
We won't go quietly. You can count on that.
You're back! I told all of my mates at the barracks about you. Well, go on then. I'll leave. Who does he think he is? We need that time! Thank you for telling me the truth.
Oh, how I wish we could stay like this forever.
The earth trembles at your mighty foot. How goes your labours? Yes, the fruits of your labour fill the air. Be it the sweet, Laura. What's wrong?
It's Sneed. He's arrived at the gate and he's most unhappy.
Is that so?
I see strange
Wayfarer,
clouds
go
in
with
the
Laura.
horizon.
See what you can learn
Be careful.
and what we can use.
victory!
Yes, sir. My apologies, sir.
I assigned you here to civilize these savages and to teach them the ways of our society. And what do I find? One of you geniuses mixed in laxatives with your rations, and now the toilets are filled to the brim with dung. Your generators have been sabotaged under your very eyes, and now the entire outpost is without electricity. I've heard disrespectful soldiers whispering nasty words about your great Lieutenant Doyle. Some ruffian has plastered uncivil words about me upon the outpost walls. Soldiers have been asking me about baseless rumors, the origin of which puzzles and annoys me. The entire outpost smells like cow shite no matter where you bloody are. And if that wasn't enough, now my precious wagon, filled with all of my necessities, is stuck on the path to this godforsaken place. That is why all of you are now on cleanup duty, and if I hear one word about it, I swear I'll send this entire outpost to the pits. Dismissed.
Sir. Yes, sir. You heard your superior officer. Move it, move it, move it!
Mind the gap and all that.
You should tell Roach about this. I'll keep watch.
I've seen this wagon before. Mythical wagons filled to the brim with trinkets and gadgetry and the sort of oddities. This is a golden opportunity indeed to find out that all of his extravagances were stolen. Hey, Wayfarer, how would you like to play Robin Hood? Take this letter and this hat. It identifies you as the Brickton Shadow. I'm sorry, what did you say? Only the Canyon's fiercest sentry, defender of her blessed land. Go forth.
Look alive, Goose! We can't have anyone rifling through the Major's belongings. Halt! State your business is off limits, civilian. Prepare to face the cold steel. The what? Oh, fucking hell! Run, Goose!
Who the devil are you? And why are you not marching up and down this out? Then why What are you doing here? Brixton, what? Give me that. My God, I knew it. These people are barbarians. Well, if they'd rather live in the filth and grime, Sir Lieutenant Doyle, come here at once.
Yes, sir.
You have to be insane to take on the time.
I've had enough of this place. By the power invested in me, I am officially ordering the full and total abandonment of the godforsaken town of Brixton.
Thank God, sir. I'll be happy to never see this place ever again in my life.
You and me, Doyle. You and me. May these people rot in the rat-infested hell of their own creation. We'll leave that fellow Woodward here. He's basically native at this point anyway. Now, let's get the hell out of here.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Britons never, never, never shall be slain.
We stand victorious.
I think of no better reward for your work than nightmare finally wear it not only as a charm. Tommies are gone, but now thanks to your best efforts.
Look where you're going.
Hail, Sergeant. If it isn't the Brixton Shadow. That's what the folks back in Brixton are calling you. Here, good pay for good work. Hurry on back to Merlin and tell him to send the troops.
Patience is key, for the quest continues. Hail, mate.
Be more careful. There's a war on. Oi! Watch it.
Only one casualty. Excellent. Ah, poor phrasing. Tragic. Who was it?
Sergeant Brown, sir. Landmine.
A good man. An enthusiastic soldier. Was the outpost damaged in the attack?
Superficially, sir.
What's the combat readiness of the position?
Well, it's not an easy question to answer.
Well, it's all relative, isn't it, my young scout? My questions are easier than the bullets and blades that follow them. Hey?
Gawain thinks there's quite a lot of work to be done.
Knight Gawain. Respect the rank, Scout. So you're telling me the outpost has been stripped? Was hoping it'd be equipped. We're stretched thin.
Sergeant Pilley disagrees, of course.
Sergeant Pilley? Who on earth is that? Scout, we are fighting for our lives here. I need an objective analysis of the battlefield. Stop covering your ass in some vain attempt to make me happy. Have a clear and succinct report on my desk in the hour. Dismissed.
Yes, sir.
So, you're the one I have to thank for Brickton. Fine work you did. You must tell me about this shadow business one of these days. But for now, there are more pressing concerns. Your rank. Sergeant is no befitting title for one who takes out an outpost single-handedly. From this day forth, shall hold the rank of Knight. May you honor it well in these coming endeavors.
Ever vigilant. You have eyes? Use them.
Need help? See ya.
Patience is key, for the quest continues.
Knight, I require your services. I have a job that apparently requires the skill of 2 knights. Can you help? Know what? I don't have time to make requests. This is going to have to be an order. Arthur takes the leadership quite naturally. Fortunately, my soft skills are somewhat lacking. Camelot recently secured an old Tommy outpost in the north. Regardless, we managed to drive the rabble out with minimal casualties. I need that outpost secure, capable of withstanding heavy assault. And while you're there, kick her up the arse. Fact, I'm sending more than 2 soldiers. Never mind 2 knights. Good. Dismissed.
Good to see a fellow knight. Finally, someone without a pissy attitude around here. I'm going to need help restoring this outpost and enforcing some discipline on this squad. They're relatively inexperienced and their commander died in the assault. Most of the squad are fine. It's just Sergeant Pilly and Levy Daniels. He was mortally wounded by an explosion. I initially suspected it was a landmine. However, having since seen Pilly throw a grenade, misfortune seems more plausible. He's got the idea in his head that this squad is his. So he's trying to force a promotion by acting like a raging bellend. By all accounts, Pilly demonstrated courage during the assault, but he won't even commit to doing the training required for command. He is in dire need of explosives training, but he doesn't think he needs it. He does. It's hard to be specific. While he didn't sustain any physical injuries, Levy Daniels isn't capable of carrying out, well, anything, let alone the duties of a soldier. He needs to be relieved. I assumed when you introduced yourself you were his replacement. Since you're not, he needs escorting back to Camelot. I'd have no problem with knocking the twat's teeth out, trust me. But people like him, and I need their support. Here's my original report that Sergeant Pilly refused to endorse. Give it a read. I've outlined what needs to be done.
There's a place for me.
Look where you're going.
Yes? Good. Your thoughts? I'll scout the enemy position. Get a clearer idea as to the readiness and numbers. We'll clear their position when you feel we're adequately prepared to repel a counterattack.
You have eyes. Use them.
Huh? Hmm? Oh,
Patience is key. For the quest continues.
Oi! Watch it. Ever vigilant.
how do you do it? How is it so easy for you? I close my eyes and I see their faces. They had no idea what was happening. Turns out they were scrapping all night, taking bets and beating the shit out of each other. Stupid bastards must not have realised they were under attack. I'm not sure they even knew what was happening until half of them were gone. Yes, I suppose.
I've scouted the enemy position, and I think it'd be good to engage as soon as possible. If you think we're ready, we can set things in motion. Let me know when you're ready.
Another one? Bloody hell. At this rate, there'll be more knights than swords. Sergeant Pilly, reporting for duty. Ah, you're one of those. Just what we need, eh, lads? Another honourable job's worth. If you're gonna bother me with the same bullshit, I'll save you the bother. Look around you. We've got the outpost. The job's done. What else can I do for you?
I don't think we do. She's in command. I accept that. I won't accept bogering about with a bunch of busy work because she needs to feel visible. We fought hard to take this outpost. Outnumbered, outgunned, and on our own. Arthur will have us fighting again sooner.
Respectfully, I disagree.
I don't.
Respectfully, I disagree.
I don't think we thought Arthur will have... Given enough time in her... We lost our commander immediately. Few of the others wanted to turn back. I couldn't let that happen. So there's a few of them left in the factory who need mopping up. He had to retire for medical reasons. Fine, he exploded. Stood on a landmine, cut him in half. Not exactly healthy for the mine. Whole squad shot themselves. Thought our cover was blown. Turns out the hooligans were too cunted to notice. He was shoulder to shoulder with us when it counted. He'll be fine. Yeah, not... Hysterical bollocks. By all means. It's not that I'm not keen. I've already done it. The Goodnight Fancy Bollocks considers herself beneath giving feedback. Explosives training requires we build 5 working landmines from scratch. Here are my mines. She said all but one were completely wrong. If I knew which one was wrong, I'd be able to learn from my mistake and repeat the correct process 4 more times. So, if you can figure out which of my mines are up to shape, I can finish the training without...
London is the place for me.
What can I do for you, Knight? So? Cheers. I'll crack it. See, I knew it was that one. She couldn't have just confirmed it for me. Something about becoming a knight changes you. What can I do for you, Knight? He had to retire for me.
How can I help, Knight? Our first engagement was a resounding success. After the operation, I was sent to scout the enemy position, primarily to see how many were left, and I know exactly where to find one. I was patrolling nearby when I came across it. Look, I started to remove the piece, but I felt something looming. I don't want to commit to calling it a monster, person. Are you sure? Your funeral, I guess.
Ever vigilant.
I've scouted the enemy position, and I think it'd be good to engage. If you think we're ready, we can set... Evidently, you didn't agree with the recommendations. Hardly any... Gather the squad. Tell...
You've returned as a knight, no less. You'll be wanting to dip into my pocket for more of my timber. Am I hearing this right? Camelot paying for goods and services? You really are... You've returned as a knight, no less. You'll be wanting to dip... Yes. You've returned as a knight, no less. You'll be wanting to dip... Am I hearing this right? Camelot paying for goods and services? You don't look like the type to be carrying around $500,000, knight. I'll send someone up with the timber, if that's everything.
It's about time they made you a knight. Well earned. Of course. An army marches on its stomach after...
I'm all tossed. Make pie out of you. I'm all tossed up.
Last I heard, you were sent to get our new frontier out. Not asking for much, then. Well, the good news is I can send up the sandbags. Word to the wise, nobody in London has anything that explodes or shoots going spare unless they're aiming it at you. Can't help you there. Best of luck.
I've scouted the enemy position, and I think it'd be good to engage as soon. If you think we're ready, we can set. Those recommendations were extensive. Gather the squad, tell the men to get in position.
What can I do for you, Knight? She's finally ready, is she?
Ever vigilant.
Knight.
Knight?
Ah.
What Richards means to...
That's what I said. Aye, sir.
How can I help, Knight? I'll be there.
London is a place for me.
I think we're all here. Okay, if I can have your attention, everyone. So, we've got the way I see it, we've got two approaches. We can try to do this quietly, or brute force. Wait until dark, send a couple of men to lay some traps. Wait for some to exit, silently take them out. We'll thin the numbers out a little, and then strike them hard and fast.
What's the point? They probably already know we're here. It's only our mighty knights that they've yet to encounter.
Yes, hit them as hard as we can with heavy guns and explosives. Hopefully they'll panic and scatter so we can mop up the remnants.
Well, we're obviously doing that.
I think that's probably best. I can't imagine too many of them will be going on midnight walks. Given the good light, I'd suggest we make a move as soon as possible. Get into position and wait for my signal. Once you see the sign, we'll need to throw everything at them. All clear? Good luck, and watch your backs. Dismissed.
Patience is key, for the quest continues.
Look where you're
Be more
going.
careful.
You have eyes. Your life in my hands, tyrant.
Prevails. Reveal
Someone let...
We're losing people.
Oi, watch it!
This is gonna be fun!
Someone there? That should be the last of them. Stand down! Thank you for all your help, Knight. We can take it from here. Squad dismissed!
Please remain calm if you are injured.
Speak your mind. Hail, mate.
You down to trade? Take a look. Until next time.
Patience is key, for the quest continues.
Look where you're going. Be more careful. There's a war on.
Oi, watch it!
Watch it.
You have eyes. Use them. What's your business? Greetings.
Right. Do you have any news for me? Excellent. What happened? In that case, all more the tragedy to lose such a talented tactician in Sergeant Brown. Fantastic news. With that outpost secured, I feel a lot more secure. Thanks to your efforts, the fortress to the north will be a significant deterrent.
This is that buffer zone you suggested.
That it is.
Good work. With this outpost secured, we can finally move on to the front foot. Knights, listen closely.
Arthur, Merlin, Charing Cross Station.
Breathe, Percival.
Speak plainly, or at least with a verb.
Eastminster reports there's been an explosion at Charing Cross Station.
This could be a blessing. We can put their weariness to rest by helping out.
With Percival's anxiousness, there's more to the story, I'd wager.
Merlin is right. Eastminster's already fingered a culprit. Us.
Us? I didn't authorize a strike on Charing Cross.
They're saying they've already pinned down the two knights responsible.
I hate to ask more of you so soon, but I don't have anyone else I can spare. Will you look into it? That's a longer story than we've got time for today. Good to hear. Head out immediately.
Ever vigilant.
이렇게 오늘 메인 퀘스트 조금 해봤는데요. 이제 뭐 다른 팩션들은 안 되고 이제 요 카멜롯 기사단 윤회랑 이제 메인 퀘 끝까지 갈 것 같네요. 네, 일단은 여기까지만 하고 다음에 또 이어서 하겠습니다.